Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into a topic that affects millions of people, asthma. We're going to cut through the noise and break down exactly what's going on inside the lungs, the sneaky triggers you need to watch out for, and, absolutely crucial, the emergency care steps you need to have memorized. Let's just jump right in.
So here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with what is asthma, move into common triggers, then recognizing the symptoms, how to properly use an inhaler, and finally, those critical emergency warning signs.
All right, part one. What exactly is asthma?
Okay, let's dive into this. Picture a set of normal, healthy lungs. Usually, the airways are wide open, letting air just flow freely, right? But during an asthma episode, that whole environment radically transforms. Basically, the airways get inflamed, they start building up all this thick mucus, and the bronchi actually narrow down. It's a literal physical restriction happening inside you. The tubes just tighten up and clog, making it incredibly difficult to move air in and out. Moving on to part two, common asthma triggers. Now, while that internal physical reaction is pretty much the same for everyone, the outside catalyst, well, that varies wildly. The most common everyday triggers to watch out for include dust, pollen, smoke, cold air, exercise, and pet dander. And honestly, what's so frustrating for folks with asthma is just how ordinary these things are. I mean, most of us encounter at least a few of these every single day without even giving them a second thought.
But here's the absolute core takeaway. These triggers can directly cause airway narrowing. So for someone with asthma, breathing in a little pet dander isn't just, a minor annoyance. It is literally the direct mechanism that forces those airways to swell up and fill with mucus.
Which brings us to section 3, recognizing the symptoms.
If we compare a normal, healthy respiratory state to an asthmatic one, the difference is honestly pretty distressing. Healthy breathing? It's steady, it's clear, it's totally effortless. But asthmatic breathing involves this very rapid, labored breathing, accompanied by some alarming symptoms. We're talking wheezing as the air literally forces its way through those narrowed tubes, shortness of breath, a really intense feeling of chest tightness, and a persistent cough. Just imagine the sheer physical effort your lungs are putting in just trying to pull oxygen through all that inflammation.
All right, section 4, how to use inhalers.
Let's shift gears to the solution, specifically the correct medical procedure. We're going to walk through 4 precise steps for using a metered dose inhaler with a spacer. Step 1, shake the inhaler well to mix up the medication. Step 2, exhale fully to completely empty your lungs. Step 3, press the inhaler down while inhaling nice and slow. And step 4, hold your breath for 10 seconds. That 10-second pause, it is absolutely vital. It gives the medication the time it needs to settle directly onto the walls of those narrowed airways.
I really cannot stress this point enough. You have to use your inhaler correctly for the best results. If you rush it, if you skip a step, or if you just don't hold your breath long enough, the medicine simply isn't going to reach those inflamed areas in the bronchi where you need it the absolute most.
Now we need to talk about section 5, emergency warning signs.
Now, what's really important about this part is just how stark these warning signs are. This is where an asthma episode crosses over into a severe, life-or-death medical emergency. You need to watch out for severe difficulty breathing. Look for blue lips or fingertips. That is a massive red flag that the body is literally starving for oxygen. And also, notice if the person is suddenly unable to speak in full sentences because they just can't draw in enough breath.
If you see any of those signs, the protocol is absolute. Seek emergency medical help immediately. Please do not wait around to see if the symptoms pass. This is a non-negotiable action to save a life.
But listen, despite how scary that sounds, the good news is that asthma is highly manageable. I want you to remember this simple mantra. Control asthma, carry your inhaler, follow your treatment plan. By sticking to those steps, patients absolutely can and do lead fully active, totally engaged lives. It's all about having agency over your health by staying prepared.
So, I want to leave you with one final, crucial question today. Do you know exactly where your or your loved one's emergency action plan and inhaler are right now? Seriously, don't wait for a terrifying emergency to try and find out. Check on your supplies today and always stay prepared. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.